All right, welcome back to my channel. Naima Healer here. Thanks for joining. We're getting dangerously close to 100 subscribers, and I'm just extremely excited. All right. I told you guys that I wanted to do a giveaway for when I reach 100 subscribers. So stay tuned to the next video. I'm hoping by the next video I have the 100 subscribers, and I tell you what you do to enter. So we're gonna get started with the sticks. All right, in the last video I did the baskets. We're gonna start with the sticks. We're gonna start with ace and work our way to number 10, all right? And again, those sticks represent that primal energy. I told you guys in one of the previous videos that that primal energy is just that force that is found all throughout the universe that fuels us, that fuel those primal desires, that energy, all right? So let's get into the ace of sticks, all right? So we see a hand coming out of the clouds and it's grasping one stick. Below that is a mound, a Native American mound, and it's considered like a center for power, right? So a very powerful place. When we see the ace of sticks, it just reminds us of new opportunities. For some reason, when I think about this card, I think about like one of those movies where we think the characters died and then like a hand comes out. So when I see this card, I think of new opportunities, right? It's not over. We have another chance. Facing fears, courage, really using your force, using your primal energy to accomplish what you need to accomplish. All right. Now, what's very interesting is in the reverse. This is something that stood out to me is we know the white is the clouds, but it can also represent something else. It can represent unprotected sex, promiscuity. And then we also can see it in the reverse of the first meaning I told you as like a missed opportunity, okay? So that's what sticks out to me. Missed opportunity, distractions, lack of focus. So that's the ace of sticks. Next, we have the two of sticks. And I absolutely love this, the information that was included in the book, because we have Dr. Sandy Jenkins, and he actually gave Frederick Douglass a root to protect him from his slave master abusing him. And it's said that the slave master didn't abuse Frederick Douglass anymore after this. So that is just like really awesome. So when we see this card, it's about planning. It's about looking forward to the future with a clear plan and expectations. It's also about new inventions, giving power or life to something that is new. When we look at this in the reverse, however, we see this as canceled plans, feeling kind of stuck and afraid of change, okay? All right. Now, let's go to our three of sticks. As I've said before, I really like the imagery on these cards. So we have the three of sticks. All right, we have a woman here and she's wearing kudzu to protect her from any bad spirits that might be accompanying her on her journey. All right, and when we think about this is a card of exploration. It's also a card that represents increased financial prosperity. And when I see that, I think about all the green here, the kudzu. So that's just like my signal, increased finances, all right? Exploration, just expansion. She's out here, she's looking forward, she's very free. So it's a card that represents just being free, freedom. All right, and then if we look at that in the reverse, however, we will get a lack of effort. You're in a rut, like nothing is working out for you. All right, so that's what that would be in the reverse. And lack of imagination or lack of foresight. And that lack of imagination can really hold you back and kind of can create that stuck feeling, okay? So just be open and receptive to all opportunities and know that there is unlimited potential for your life. I just slid that in there. All right, four of sticks, all right? So what we see here is a couple, they are actually planting the placenta from their new baby in hopes to attract good fortune for their baby. All right, so very beautiful. And when we see this card, it's about leveling up. All right, you're about to advance to a next level. When we see this card, it's also about just serenity. We think about traditions, our rites of passage. So when we see that card, we think about that. And then in the reverse, however, that can be conflict, some sort of a division, maybe a community break, a relationship break. So we see some disharmony in our relationship, okay? And so what I'm noticing is when we see the couples, a lot of times that represents that harmony or that balance, all right? So if we look at this in the reverse, it's a break in some of that harmony. All right, let's keep going. We have the 5 of Sticks. All right, we see our teenager in the forefront, and what we have here are a group of girls that are maliciously talking about her, and she's not worried because she knows later she's gonna jinx them. So when we see this card, it just represents good competition. And what really resonates with me is the fact that it represents, it doesn't matter what's against you, who's against you, you're confident that you're gonna win, okay? And in the reverse, it can represent haters. All right, someone always talking about you, never satisfied with what you're doing, right? They're mad because it's not them. And it also can represent acting like you're okay with something when you're really not, or pretending that everything is fine and you're really not. So exercise that throat chakra if this comes up in the reverse, and say what you really mean. All right, guys. 6 of Sticks. All right, and this character here on this horse is Nat Love, and Nat Love was one of the greatest cowboys of all time, right? Sometimes when we see the picture of a cowboy, it doesn't really match with what reality is because, you know, history has been taken from us so much. But one of the greatest cowboys, and he was actually captured by Pima Indians, and they adopted him into his tribe, but he was actually able to escape on this horse. I think he called him Yellow Horse. I think he named him Yellow Horse. So when we see this card, if you look closely, you can also see people kind of cheering him on. So when we see this card upright, it means being recognized as a hero, people looking up to you, are seeking your advice. When we see this downside in reverse, it can be someone that's one of those people that just craves attention, but not in a good way, craves it just too much, right? Really needs it. And when we see this card, it can also represent frenemies or like an epic failure, okay? All right. Next, we have the 7 of Sticks. All right, so very interesting backstory. So this is a figure called Uncle Monday, and I actually live in South Carolina now. So he was a slave in South Carolina. He escaped. So it is said that he asked a root worker to turn him into an alligator so he would be able to defend himself if slave catchers came to take him. And it is said that he still roams the waters and he blesses and curses those that come into his path, all right? So we see all the sticks pointing against him, but Uncle Monday has his alligator face on. He's ready to defend himself. So when we see this card, stand up for yourself, all right? Defending your beliefs, defending what is right, okay? That's the biggest call out for me. Also, it represents resisting authority, all right? And when we look at it in the opposite, this person can actually be like a scapegoat, or you've been scapegoated through some situation in your life. A person that's always playing the victim card or that victim role, it can represent that as well, okay? Or the inability to stand up for yourself. All right. We have the Eight of Sticks. All right. So this card, I love trees, guys. I just hug them, go sit by them, stand by them. But this hoodoo woman is actually peeling off wood from a tree that's been struck by lightning. And they feel, or they know, that that energy makes that wood more powerful or more potent for their root working, okay? So when we see this card, it lets us know that there's going to be rapid progress. All right, get ready, because you're leveling up as well, and it's going to happen rapidly. So it represents momentum. All right, you've been accelerated forward. In the reverse, it's going to be the opposite. All right, so wasted energy, it can signal a bad or unexpected breakup. Think about lightning quick. So it'll be something that's very unexpected. And also it can also mean not looking at a situation for what it is, or you're not in tune with the warnings or the signals that are right there in front of you, okay? So you're missing those. All right, almost done, guys. So we have the Nine of Sticks. And the Nine of Sticks is awesome. I love this character. So she's ready, right? She has her Bible, she has her moho bag, she has her pistol, and the sticks have the head of, have the skull heads on top of them. So that means that the ancestors have been waiting for her to make a move. So when we see this card, it's time for you to make a move. She is prepared. It represents preparing for battle. She is willing to do whatever she needs to do to accomplish her goals. So not do or die, do rather than die. So she's gonna get it done, all right? So also in the opposite, we're gonna think about the opposite. So this person is not prepared. This person has a defeatist attitude, just sitting around not making a move, all right? Wanting a pity party. All right, so that could be that in the reverse. And I dropped my card, let me get it. I have the 10 of Sticks. This is our last card. So we see a clearly aged woman. She's carrying all the sticks on her back. And what she's doing is she is, and I may pronounce this wrong, she is getting the piece of Shasashara fruit. And it's really difficult and hard to find. And it also has anti-aging and anti-fatigue properties. So when we see this card, it represents just a load being lifted. It represents knowing when to delegate a task, or knowing when to ask for help to lift some of those burdens from you, okay? And I can particularly resonate with this card because I like to do everything myself. I hate asking for help. But if we want some of those loads lifted off, sometimes we have to open our mouth and ask for help or delegate responsibilities, all right? If you're a mom like me, delegate those chores out, right? Pay someone to do that, right? Sometimes we can't do it all. Lift the burden off of yourselves. And then if we look at this in the reverse, this is one that has spent their whole life being obligated to someone else, a life full of obligations, or worrying about somebody else's happiness instead of your own, a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. All right. That's it. That's Ace through 10. All right. So if you're keeping like a tarot journal, remember, write descriptions of each card, write their meanings, particularly write how they resonate with you today. Again, I feel that's the best way to attach a meaning to it. So I know sometimes I kind of slide my own personal things in there, but that's how we make connection with the cards, okay? So we'll have 2 more sets of Ace through 10 to go, and then we'll get into some spreads and some readings and how I interpret the cards. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you. Like it, subscribe it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.